It might not seem like it, but the location behind me has a lot to do with analyzing your financial information. And here's why. Currently, we are on a location that is high above the city, and there is a pretty high vantage point where you can see miles and miles around. And this is how you want to analyze your financial information. You want to be able to go 10,000 feet up, but also looking at the details. And that is why it's important when you're looking at your financial information every single month, you should be doing it every month, at least every month, that you're not just looking at what happened in the previous month, but you're also looking at it from a bigger vantage point so that you're able to see what happened 2 months ago, 3 months ago, what happened 6 months ago, and what happened a year ago, maybe even 2 years ago, so that you can see the progression of your business. Because if you're just looking at what happened in the previous month, you might be missing some things. Also, another thing is important, that you're doing forecast and that you're able to see what is going to happen, or at least what you think it's going to happen in the next month, in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, in the next 12 months of your business, because now you're zooming in and you're zooming out. And this is going to give you a really good vantage point, because just like in the castles, and these castles were built on a hilltop for a reason, because they wanted to see if there is an army going to attack them so that they can actually prepare. Just like them, you want to use that information from the past and from the future to see how can you prepare if there's a proverbial army that is going to attack your castle, your business. That's why it's important that you're taking the time to look at your business, not just from a detailed point of view, but also from a 10,000-foot view, so that you can see things that you might not be able to see if you were just looking at the details. This has been another episode of New Castle Finance, financial tidbits from old castles. And if you're interested about the location behind me and the history about it, stick around, because in the next couple of seconds, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. This was filmed in Maribor, Slovenia, on a local hill called Piramida, or the Pyramid. Back in the 12th century, a castle was built here for protection against the Hungarians. The castle was located in River Drava March, and that's how the settlement, market town, and eventually the whole town under the castle got its name, Marchburg or Marburg, and now in modern times called Maribor. Unfortunately, the castle burned down in the early 16th century. In a little more than a century later, it was renovated in a Renaissance style, but it was eventually demolished in 1790. A stone pyramid was constructed using the leftover materials, giving the hill its name, the Pyramid or Piramida. All that remains now are the trench, a steep embankment, and a well without a rim. In mid-19th century, the pyramid was replaced with a chapel containing a statue of Virgin Mary, and it was built to honor the old castle's location. Today, it's a popular hiking destination, and the path to get there is abundant with grapevines, and at the end, you're rewarded with a magnificent view of the city and its surrounding areas, some 1,200 feet above the city.